15.
An inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Rudy and Aaron.
Hello. She's on the radio right now, but you got me, and I hope you're doing well.
Okay, yes, I am, and I hope the same with you. Apologies for the short call yesterday, and I wasn't able to call back. I tried, but couldn't get it. But I just wanted to follow up on the radio thing. I had a couple of notes I made afterward. There's always something's going to be left out that I didn't want to leave out, but lot to jam in that time. I could have gone for another 10 hours and not finished everything I had here in front of me. But I just wanted to get your sense of how you thought it went, and if there were any particular comments or questions that you were left with afterward that I could clarify.
No, I thought it went really, really well, and I liked how we had so much of your own voice, right? And we posted it on your Facebook page. Who runs your Facebook page? Is that Don Cena?
Yes.
Okay. He had a great comment about the program. I think he said it could be the thing that makes a critical difference, and I pray that's the case. But I thought you did a really, really good job at covering your case and being sensitive to sensitive issues. And I know you could have gone for another 10 hours. You mean 35 years in prison, there's no way that you can cover all of the details that have led up to that and that experience entails in a radio program that only lasts a couple of hours. So, but I thought you did a real good job at summarizing everything. I think that program is recorded for all history right now. So anybody that wants to learn about you, we've not only got that free, but don't forget, I put out a 6-part series where you called me 6 times. And, that whole thing has been posted on Year of Jubilee website. You should be getting color photos from your webpage, like hopefully sometime later this week, where you can, look at those and give me feedback. But I'm going to recommend people listen to the radio program and listen to your 6-part series if they want to dig deeper.
Fantastic. Yeah, so, some of it's redundant in that some of the things I went into were the same as what we'd done during those other 6 calls, but I think the redundancy is not a real negative. I think it's all right. And I wanted to stress something I didn't stress on the radio broadcast is that
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Is the 3552 that anybody can go there and get a lot more information, and that there was a lot more to give that we just didn't have time for. I want to mention a couple of the things here. It's almost every day I'm seeing something on the news, and I don't even watch the news quite every day, but almost every day I'm running into something of great significance regarding my case. Now tonight, in here, I'm looking for the notes. One whole full-page note I had on it right here, and now I can't find it all of a sudden. Let me see. Well, I don't find it, but let me do this by memory. Today, there was on the 6 o'clock news, our time, a police officer named Williams who shot a guy that, he probably did the right thing. I don't think it was one of those bad things like the cop shooting these guys in the back or shooting unnecessarily. But he shot a guy, and I have the names and everything written down. I just can't. Wait a minute. I think I do have it right here. Yes, I do. Okay, here it is. Okay, guy named Brian Aguilar was throwing stones at cars going by and acting real crazy, and the police got some call. And this is in Watsonville, California. It's real close to here, almost local to where I am. And when the cop arrived, a cop named Matt Williams, 2-year veteran of the Watsonville Police Department, the guy just charged at him with a knife in his hand. And so Williams shot him with a rifle right in the gut. Didn't kill him, apparently. He's still alive in the hospital, I guess. But here's the points I want to make. They showed the knife on the TV. Of course, that's something that arouses panic in anybody, even a police officer who's trained. Yet, there's nowhere near the amount of panic or just kind of losing your mind and losing control and having to do something erratic to save your life or for your safety's sake. Nowhere close with that situation, my situation. And yet this police officer is everything but praised. They just kind of left it in neutral that he did the right thing. But oftentimes those police officers are praised for that kind of behavior, and even going a lot further than that, shooting repeated times. This guy actually seemed to show great restraint from what I heard on the newscast. But compared to my situation where a guy first comes into my home, bashes his body, his feet, and whatever else against the door repeatedly to crash it open, and then swings a meat cleaver at me through the door, although those seconds I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew it was something to harm me. And then I shoot him and then call police to save him, and they admit they got there while he was still on his feet, wounded, where I had plenty of bullets left in my gun. If I wanted to shoot him, I would have shot some more. So all of these things combined, the disparity of my case should be cause for absolute outrage from thousands and tens of thousands and even millions of people out there. And I haven't seen that kind of outrage expressed yet, but we need that outrage expressed. And there are a lot worse cases than this one here. There are a couple of other things. Dr. Oz had mentioned a number of times. Okay, this one I've already talked about a little bit. And then there is another situation here I wrote some notes on for you. There's a fairly new show on the air called Whistleblower. I don't think I've mentioned this to you. It's about people that blow the whistle on somebody. You know about the Karen Silkwood incident where they murdered her for blowing the whistle on the nuclear facility stuff years ago. This was, 35, 40 years ago. But it's those type of things. They have had some amazing segments on in the last 3 weeks. Those are the 3 weeks I've caught it. I think I've caught all 3 weeks of the show. This last time they had a guy, ex-cop who was hired by hold on a second, the laboratory in Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, because of all the waste and corruption there, and he uncovered crimes that were unbelievable that were being done by many of the top workers, right up to the top person there. Blew the whistle on him, lost his job, lost his career over it, and eventually got vindicated, though, and got like $1 million and some dollar settlement over what they did to him in retaliation. So, my whole situation as to why I'm in prison this long is about whistleblowing. And I want to emphasize that, and I would like everybody to contact this program. It's on ABC TV. It's on Friday nights out here. Friday nights, 9 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. My memory tells me 10 o'clock p.m., but my notes here say 9 o'clock, so it's one or the other. So anyway, if you go to cbs.com/whistleblower, you get some information, all the information that I know of, and hopefully you could get me contact information where I can write them, or if they don't have a snail mail address, where I could get at least an email address, and I can have, one of my friends out there send an email. Sam Milam runs my website, or somebody else to send an email to them for me. I would love to have them consider my situation, because here's the bare facts on whistleblowing with me. All of these complaints I filed against the CDC system over the years, many of them are considered to be whistleblowing because they expose some really bad corruption of employees of CDC. Some of them were, beatings of prisoners. Some of them were killing of prisoners. Some of them were the abuses on me. And a lot of these cops could have lost their jobs over it if somebody, was in position to do something about it. But instead, they covered it all up. But I still got all the retaliation that any whistleblower gets. And a lot worse than some, because they've taken 26 years of my life after my sentence was served for the filing of those complaints. And so I think it's a really strong case to be profiled on the Whistleblower TV show.
No, I got it, Free. I got it. You mentioned looking up. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me, Free?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to ask you. You mentioned you wanted me to look up some. I'm sorry.
You're like an echo. I think your battery's going dead, or you're like a real distant echo chamber.
Well, okay, I'll try to. I don't know if that. Let me take you off speaker. Can you? I was going to ask you to tell me what you wanted me to look up again. Free.
Go to cbs.com/whistleblower, and that's CBS TV, which is. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I said ABC TV on top, and I've got CBS down here, so hold on. One of those is wrong. I believe I was wrong when I said ABC TV. No, my memory tells me it was on ABC on Channel 4 out here. But I wrote down CBS.com whistleblower. Maybe CBS stands for something else other than the TV station. In any case, Google it or whatever you need to do. I'm sure you can find it. A new program called Whistleblower. Just one word. And get whatever information you can. I need any contact information you can get, whether phone numbers, email, or snail mail, or anything else you can get. Send to me, please, or if anybody else out there can get it if you can't. And also maybe take a look at some of those episodes. There's been 3 so far that I know of. I think that's all 3 of them since the program began. And I fit that perfectly.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me, but I wanted to tell you, I'm here. I looked up the case of Kurt Danish, and I found it incredibly interesting. So I wanted to thank you for referring me to that. He has a website and incredibly interesting case about SSRI drugs.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I was in touch with Kurt. I heard or read of his case. It could have even been in America Free Press or Spotlight way back when. And I wrote him, and he wrote back, and we corresponded for a little while. And it's a really sad case. I felt certain that he was going to get relief once it came out in the open and was proven that the SSRI drugs caused all that, and that he had a great relationship with his dad. But sadly, the last time I checked, many years after I was first in touch with him, he was still in prison, and I assume he probably still is today, although I don't know that to be a fact.
No, I think he is, because that's what his website shows, that he's still incarcerated.
Okay. Yeah. That's really sad, that he has to still be in for that, which he would definitely not have done, and he loved his dad dearly, and that was responsibility lies completely on the big pharma companies.
Well, it's amazing that they're still
those were the.
Okay, I'm sorry, Free. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that it doesn't appear that anything is changing out here. I mean, they're still prescribing SSRI drugs, and I personally had a family member that was talking about killing themselves when they started taking Zoloft. So I have personal experience with this situation, but nothing seems to be changing. I mean, they're still prescribing SSRI drugs as far as I know.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that. Well, Big Pharma's got a lot of power, and they pretty much own the government here in this country. They're so powerful, so I'm not surprised. It's unfortunate, though. Let me move to one other thing. I had mentioned Dr. Oz about his August 8th, 2018 Crime Thursday show, 4 to 5 p.m. out here in California, ABC TV. I had mentioned this already, that they had 2 girls on the show, 2 different cases totally independent of each other, where they had somebody break in trying to kill them, and in one case, the girl killed her attacker with a gun that she had, and in one case, a policeman miraculously arrived there by sort of accident, coincidence, or miracle, and came in and shot the guy right as he was about to kill the girl. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this again is because there were 2 people on the show, and I'd like to get their contact information too. Even more, I would like people out there, yourself and or other people. I know you're only one man, or you and Aaron are 2 people, and it's you don't have all the time in the world. You got the same 24 hours a day we all have, and most of it's used up, I'm sure. But there are 2 people that were involved in this particular Dr. Oz episode. One is named Steve Kardian, Kardian. He's a self-defense expert and a ex-U.S. Marshal.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And if you and some of these other people could tune in at Dr. Oz show, you'll understand why. And also a woman who I wrote years and years ago, a really foremost expert in her field, Casey Jordan, Jordan. That's a woman. She's in back east somewhere, maybe New York or New Jersey, and she could do an awfully lot for expert witness in issues in my case, like panic, how people.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
and that sort of thing. So I'm looking for contact information, anybody else out there that would like to tune into that Dr. Oz show, see what she's about and what he's about, and then contact them on my behalf.
Is it Casey with a C or Casey with a K? Do you know?
C.
Okay.
C-A-S-E-Y. Jordan, Jordan. Okay, this is going to cut us any second, Rudy. Thank you again for being there. I'll give you a phone.